Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our channel where we delve into the most incredible and surprising moments in the lives of your favorite celebrities. Today, we have an astonishing story that will surely leave you in awe. Imagine this. It's a rainy night in 1977, just weeks before the legendary Elvis Presley's untimely passing. The king himself, in his iconic jumpsuit, steps out of his limousine to rescue a young teenager from a brutal attack by two men. It sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, it really happened, and the way Elvis reacted is nothing short of heroic. Stay tuned as we dive into the riveting details of the night Elvis saved a teen from being attacked by two men. You won't believe how the king reacted. Number 4. Setting the scene. Elvis Presley was not just the king of rock and roll. He was also a man known for his generosity and willingness to help those in need. Whether it was through his charitable donations, his impromptu acts of kindness, or simply the way he connected with his fans, Elvis had a heart as big as his talent. As we step back to the night of June 24, 1977, we find Elvis 52 days away from his tragic death, yet still living every moment with his characteristic flair and compassion. It was around 1 a.m. in Madison, Wisconsin, when the events of this incredible story unfolded. The night was shrouded in rain, casting a somber mood over the quiet streets. Elvis had just flown in from a concert in Des Moines, Iowa, and was en route to his hotel, preparing for his performance later that day. Little did he know that this seemingly ordinary journey would turn into a moment of sheer heroism, forever etched in the memories of those involved. Number 3. The incident. The story centers around a 17-year-old gas station worker named Jake, a typical teenager just trying to earn some extra money by helping out at his father's station. Jake was a responsible and hard-working young man, well-liked by the regular customers for his friendly demeanor and strong work ethic. On this fateful night, Jake was minding the station alone, likely anticipating a quiet shift as he cleaned up and prepared to close for the night. However, his peace was shattered when two former employees, recently fired and harboring a grudge, decided to cause trouble. These disgruntled men, both around the same age as Jake, were angry and bitter about their dismissal, feeling wronged and looking for someone to blame. Their approach was menacing, their intentions clear as they marched up to Jake with clenched fists and hostile glares. They began hurling insults and accusations at him, their voices rising in anger. Jake, caught off guard and alone, tried to defuse the situation, but his words fell on deaf ears. The confrontation quickly escalated into physical violence when one of the men shoved Jake hard against the gas station wall. The other joined in, and a full-blown fight broke out. Jake was immediately overwhelmed. He was outnumbered and outmatched. The two attackers pummeled him mercilessly, their rage driving them to inflict as much pain as possible. Jake struggled to defend himself, but was soon beaten to the ground, his body bruised and battered as he lay defenseless under their relentless assault. It was a harrowing and desperate moment for the young man, who found himself in dire need of help as he endured the brutal attack. Number 2. Elvis's Heroic Act. As fate would have it, Elvis Presley and his entourage arrived at a red light right next to the gas station just as the brutal altercation was unfolding. Elvis was in town for a concert, having just flown in from Des Moines, Iowa, and was on his way to the hotel to get some rest before the big performance. Sitting in the back of his limo, Elvis noticed the commotion through the rain-streaked window. The sight of the young man being mercilessly beaten stirred something deep within him. Without a moment's hesitation, Elvis's instinct to help kicked in. He ordered the limo to stop, and before his security team could react, Elvis sprang into action. Still dressed in his iconic jumpsuit and leather trench coat, Elvis flung open the limo door and jumped out into the night. The rain poured down around him, but that didn't deter the king. With a swift and determined stride, he rushed toward the scene. The attackers, engrossed in their violent act, didn't notice his approach until it was too late. Elvis didn't waste any time. He immediately took a karate stance, a skill he had honed over the years, and with a commanding voice he yelled, "I'll take you on!" The sheer shock of the situation hit the attackers like a freight train. They looked up, and to their utter disbelief and amazement, they realized who was standing before them. It was Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, ready to defend the young gas station worker. The recognition of his face and the unexpectedness of his presence caused the attackers to freeze. Their aggression melted away, replaced by shock and fear. They backed off, stepping away from their victim, who was now struggling to his feet. Elvis's unexpected intervention and his larger-than-life persona completely diffused the situation, turning a moment of violence into one of awe and relief. Number 1. Resolution. The teenager, still reeling from the unexpected turn of events, slowly got up from the ground, dusting himself off. His body ached from the beating, but the adrenaline and sheer relief of being saved by none other than Elvis Presley gave him a newfound strength. He looked up at Elvis, his eyes wide with gratitude and disbelief. "Thank you," he managed to say, his voice filled with emotion. Elvis, always humble despite his fame, smiled warmly and patted the young man on the shoulder, reassuring him that everything was going to be okay. Elvis then turned his attention to ensuring the situation was completely resolved. He spoke calmly to the attackers, making sure they understood the gravity of their actions. The presence of Elvis, combined with his authoritative yet kind demeanor, kept the situation under control. As the tension eased, a crowd began to gather, drawn by the commotion and the incredible sight of Elvis Presley in the middle of a rainy night, defending a stranger. Seizing the moment to bring some positivity, Elvis signed autographs and chatted briefly with the onlookers, his charisma and generosity shining through even in this chaotic moment. Soon, the police arrived, lights flashing, ready to handle what they expected to be a serious situation. But by then, the altercation had completely cooled off. Elvis explained what had happened, and the police, recognizing the significance of his intervention, took statements and ensured that the attackers would face consequences for their actions. With the situation fully diffused and the young man safe, Elvis knew it was time to leave. As he and his bodyguards got back into the limo, the rain still falling softly outside, Elvis couldn't help but chuckle. Turning to his team, he said with a twinkle in his eye, "Did you see their faces?" The humor in his voice lightened the mood, and his bodyguards joined in the laughter, marveling at the surreal events of the night. Elvis's quick thinking and bravery had not only prevented a serious assault, but had also turned a potentially tragic moment into a legendary story of heroism, kindness, and the unforgettable presence of the king. Elvis's willingness to leap into action that night, despite being out of shape and in the final months of his life, speaks volumes about his character. His courage and readiness to help someone in need, even at personal risk, highlight the kindness and bravery that defined him beyond his musical genius. Elvis's karate training undoubtedly played a role, giving him the confidence to confront the attackers and protect the teenager. Surrounded by his loyal entourage, who were always ready to support him, Elvis felt secure in stepping up when it mattered most. This incident is just one of many that showcase the true essence of Elvis Presley, a man whose legacy extends far beyond his iconic status in music. He was a hero in the truest sense, always looking out for others and willing to stand up for what was right. As we wrap up this incredible story, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the spirit of Elvis's legacy alive. Be sure to check out our other videos for more amazing stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay inspired by the King's enduring legacy of kindness and bravery. Outro music plays as the end screen appears, featuring links to related videos for viewers to explore more captivating tales.